Sir, I would say Trade Development Authority is a catalyst organization for the exports of Pakistan. What plans and strategies it has to increase the exports of Pakistan to China?
Trade Development Authority, as you are aware, is responsible for facilitating and supporting the trade of Pakistan. And this year has been declared as the focus year for China. And in that connection, we have developed a strategy which is going to be a long-term strategy for having a better outreach program to get market access into China. As you know, there is a free trade agreement. That free trade agreement is not fully exploited to its maximum potential. So what we are trying to do is, at the Trade Development Authority, is trying to see as to how we can reach all the regions in China. And for that purpose, we have decided to participate in more than 20 exhibitions and fairs all around China. That includes even remote cities in western China and other parts of central China.
As you said that you are organizing 20 exhibitions in around China, what are the targeted export products of Pakistan?
Not only that we are participating in more than 20 fairs and exhibitions, we are going to be sending about 14 delegations, business delegations, about the same time as these exhibitions and fairs are taking place. And we are going to be holding business forums where we would invite business people from China, and also a large delegations would go from Pakistan to introduce the Pakistani products and also to get awareness about the potential of the Chinese market. As you are also aware, China is the second country in the world with the highest purchasing power parity. So the middle class of China is increasing phenomenally, and it is very important for us to strategize from now, so that in 5 or 10 years we are fully introduced into the Chinese market. The Pakistan brand has to be established in China, because that is the future of the world in terms of consumer market. As you are also aware that Pakistan's two major markets are United States and EU, but from a 60% share, it has come down to 40%, and now Asia, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and which includes China, is increasing day by day. And as you are also aware that we are negotiating the second phase of the FTA, where there would be improvement in the market access on both sides, and we have asked the Chinese government to look into 260 tariff lines where we would need improvement in the market access. Now, with this kind of a scenario, we have already seen 28% increase in our exports to China over the last few years. In fact, this year, 28%. And FTA-related products have seen 68% increase, which clearly shows that there is an upward trend in our exports and imports. Imports naturally are in favor of the trade balance is in favor of China, but that should not scare us. In fact, that is good, because if we are importing capital goods, which is for production, it goes in favor of Pakistan. But if there is a big chunk which is consumer goods, then we have to see as to how we need to realign our FTA to ensure that no domestic industry is hurt through import of consumer products from China. So we have to create a balance and ensure that the trade between China and Pakistan is without any disruption, and it does not create any issues for Pakistani ecosystem. But one thing is for sure, that China is the future, and we have just come back from the visit of China, where the Prime Minister made a brilliant presentation of Pakistan's case, and he met 4 banks and 3 very huge companies. And the focus was that we should look at how China can help us in terms of alleviating our energy issue, our infrastructure, telecommunication, and social sector. Now, Exim Bank, China Development Bank, Bank of China and ICBC have promised that they would do the project financing, syndicated loans, trade finance. So we have a strong backing from the banking sector of China, which is a big boost for Pakistan, and the Prime Minister also requested them that instead of the sovereign guarantee, they should accept our commercial guarantee. So these are very positive steps which have been taken by the government, and this visit of the Prime Minister was a huge success in terms of generating interest in the Chinese business people. And there was a business forum where I spoke, and the Prime Minister also invited the business companies, entrepreneurs to Pakistan to invest. And you will be surprised that there is a huge interest in the hydropower, in the coal-fired generation of electricity, and also gas-fired. So the company called Three Gorges, which is the #1 company in China, which has put up a monumental project of the Three Gorges Dam, they are interested to come into Pakistan and invest in the hydropower generation. And for that, there's Basha Dam, Munji Dam, Tonsa, and other smaller dams which are in line. And they have promised us that they would want to look at 12 to 15 small and medium hydropower projects. So all in all, you can see that the trend and the direction of our efforts to develop and to promote trade between Pakistan and China will take center stage. And the President of Pakistan is expected to visit Urumqi, where there is going to be a very big show, and also Kashgar. And this is all integrating the Western China with the Eastern China, and also this will give us an access to get into China through our KKH and all these Western China markets.
I met with the governor of Xinjiang, Nur al-Bakri. He said that we are giving special incentives to Pakistani businessmen to launch their industry or products in the Kashgar economic zone. How would you boost the confidence of Pakistani exporters to do the business in Kashgar economic zone?
We are actually thinking to enter into an agreement with Kashgar Special Economic Zone and create synergies with another group in Pakistan, which is the Ruba group. They are also thinking on the same lines to develop a special economic zone in the private sector. So if there is some collaboration between Kashgar and the Ruba, which is originally a Chinese investment, but now the Ruba group is more or less Pakistani majority. So it would be very interesting to see how these two special economic zones can cooperate and develop synergies where they would encourage Pakistani businessmen to go and invest in Kashgar, and likewise for high technology and for skilled management, high class management. I think the project which the Pakistani entrepreneur is proposing, that can be very interesting. In fact, Ruba Special Economic Zone is offering land free of cost, and they are also prepared to put in the equity, provided the entrepreneur or the investor coming from China or elsewhere brings in technology and top class technical and skilled management.
What barriers or challenges you see as a authority or CEO of the Trade Development Authority for the Pakistani businessmen, either it's language or culture or something else?
I think the biggest barrier is lack of information. So Trade Development Authority is considering seriously to launch awareness campaign, and the awareness campaign can take place in business forums, workshops, conferences. So these kind of activities both in China and Pakistan can create a lot of awareness amongst our business community, which in turn can generate a lot of business on both sides. So that is the #1 objective at this moment to achieve, to create awareness. Once the awareness is created, then it is self-propelled. The business people of the two countries would go ahead and do their businesses and TDAP will only come in where any facilitation or supporting role is required.
In which areas you see the shining line for the Pakistani businessmen and investors exported to China?
Obviously, Pakistan's exports are more than 50% in textile, clothing and made-ups. And that is where I find that China becoming very rapidly consumer society. Textiles will remain the number one area where Pakistan would be excelling in China because of our technology, cost of production, and of course the expertise that we have, particularly in home textiles. And as you know that at this moment there is a lot of raw material like fabric and yarn is exported, but we want to now convert this into more value-added products. Besides that, there is leather is one area, fisheries, marble and granite, and then you would have also a lot of minerals which are required by China. Now these are very traditional, the textile is a very traditional line or sector, but the non-traditional are the ones which I just mentioned, and there is a huge potential in China, and chemicals also, because there are certain chemicals produced in Pakistan which has a potential to be exported to China. Well, the other products can be the surgical instruments, carpets, cutlery, and so on and so forth. The most important way going forward is that we should try to ensure that the Pakistani exporters keeps the promise, and the promise is on price, on quality and on delivery. These three things are very important, and if they want to capitalize on this market, they have to establish the Pakistani brand with a lot of integrity. So integrity is the most important element in the success of any business or any trade. So this would be my advice, and I think China has the potential which not many markets can offer. So I wish all the business people of Pakistan great success in doing business with China.
Thank you so much.
Nihao-Salam.